I absolutely love the North. I'm proud to come from the north of England and I'm proud to live in northern Germany. And the North is so brilliant that there's even a song about it.
We love the North, it's the place to be, we love the North.
So today we are in Germany's most northern city, Flensburg, to watch their club Viker Flensburg. But before we have a look around, watch some footy and go for a cheeky side quest, let me tell you a little bit more about the club. So, Viker Flensburg are the love child of several mergers, but their parent club was formed in 1930 under the name ASV Flensburg. The club was formed by local railway workers, with the E in ASV standing for Eisenbahn, which is a German word for railways. And the club's early years were marred with chaos. Almost immediately after forming, they came under the thumb of Nazi rule. And then, of course, shortly after, the Second World War hit as well. And then, after weathering all of that, in 1945, they were disbanded by the occupying Allies. And after that, it went from chaos to really confusing. By 1947, they'd reformed, only to see all of their players leave and create their own club in 1949. The newly created club was called TSV Viker West and mostly played in the third tier. But then they decided to go back on themselves in 1972 when Viker West rejoined ASV to create a TSV Viker Flensburg. But it didn't really change much, with them continuing as a pretty irrelevant amateur team. But in the mid-2000s, the club started a mini revolution. They were promoted to the 5th tier in 2007 and then found their way to the 4th tier in 2012. They were regulars in the upper reaches of the table, and in 2017 they absorbed local rival Flensburg Act, which only furthered their growth. And it all paid dividends, with Viker Flensburg winning the 4th tier in 2018 and going into the promotion playoffs. It was their chance to play in a professional league for the first time ever, but unfortunately, they were faced with a murderer's row. Joining them in the playoffs was former DFB Pokal winners Uerdingen, former Bundesliga champions 1860 München, two-time German champions Saarbrücken, as well as the giants of Mannheim and Cottbus. The tiny Flensburg had absolutely no chance. Unsurprisingly, they didn't go up, but they did continue to be top performers in the 4th tier. They consistently finished in the top 5 and were very unlucky to have 2 potential promotion seasons ruined by COVID. And outside their good league form, they were also decent in the cup, beating second tier side Bochum in 2018 and taking second tier neighbours Holstein Kiel to extra time in 2021. But since then, Viker have struggled to find their form, with them narrowly avoiding relegation last season. So we are currently on location in Flensburg to watch Viker Flensburg against Phoenix Lübeck. But before we do any of that, I want to take you on this little cheeky side quest that I've been telling you about. So, I currently come to you from Denmark. So, Flensburg is about maybe 7 kilometres away from the Danish border, and there's a city bus going there. So I'm coming to you from Denmark, yeah, which is pretty cool. First impressions, there's not really a lot to see. This kind of like a border town in the middle of absolutely nowhere. There is nothing here. What is interesting though is that I didn't know I needed my passport to go from Germany to Denmark because I have a German ID card. I thought that'd be enough, but it's not. I genuinely thought I was going to get arrested, but the woman was very nice. So here's a tip for you kids. If you're going from Germany to Denmark, bring your passport. Oh, but yeah, I've heard my first bit of Danish, which is weird, and the street signs obviously are in Danish, but to think that I was on a bus from Germany with my normal ticket to Denmark is pretty cool. This is what Denmark's like right now. Not exactly a thriving hub of culture, this place. The border is just over there. I wanted to try like a Danish beer, but I can't because there's no shops here. There's like a fucking teddy bear shop there. And I wanted to like do a thing across the border, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it because I thought the border was open, but I guess it isn't. It's a shame really, because I wanted to like be in both countries at the same time. But at least I have technically been to Denmark and they got arrested at the Danish border. And that's something you can't say every day, can you? It's just a shame that this town has nothing in it. So I guess we're just going to get back on the bus. So now that we have avoided the grasp of the Danish border robbers, what we're going to do now is we're going to have a quick wander around Flensburg, see what the crack is. And then we're going to get a beer because I like beer, but also because Flensburg is actually very, very famous for its beer. It's one particular beer called Flensburger Pilsner, which you see everywhere in Germany, and it's really good. Got a cool bottle as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a wander around, we're going to see some sights, see what's going on, and then we're going to find a beer, we're going to sit by the fjord. Yes, this place has a fjord, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the history and other stuff about the city. So let's have a wander, find a beer. This is a really beautiful town. Like, you've got this big modern high street, but then you just go down a side street and there's like some incredible old building from the 1600s, which you very rarely get in Germany. Like, look at this. This is just me wandering off the beaten path just for looking for a fucking beer. Look at this. This is like postcard shit on here. And look up here. Wow. That is bloody lovely. But it doesn't feel like Germany. Like, it feels quite quaint and kind of Scandic. The coloured houses, I think, might be contributing to the Scandicness, maybe. Also, there is a Danish bakery there, so that probably also backs that up. But it's actually a relatively big place. It's about 100,000 population, which is pretty big. Definitely come to Flensburg if you're around here. It's very, very nice. First impressions are good. Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. There we go. Chin chin. I thought this would be a good place to tell you about Flensburg. So the city has a population just under 100,000, 96,000, which means that it doesn't qualify for the German accolade of Großstadt, which is 100,000 and over. But it is the third biggest city in the state of Schleswig-Holstein, which is the most northerly state. And as we saw earlier, it's very close to the Danish border. It's about 4 miles, so 7 kilometers from our German friends. What's interesting is that Flensburg used to be part of Denmark, and this whole part of Germany used to be part of Denmark until about 150 years ago, actually. So I think that is partially the reason as to why it looks so Scandic in parts. What is also a very, very interesting fact is that Flensburg was actually the capital of Nazi Germany. So after Hitler killed himself, a fellow called Dönitz was in charge. I can't remember his first name. He fled to Flensburg, so he was the leader after Hitler died, and he fled to Flensburg with the rest of the surviving Nazis for the last corner of Nazi rule. And they were there for like a couple of weeks. So this technically was the capital of Germany for a few days back in the 40s. Which is very interesting, isn't it? But it's beautiful. This is a really nice place. I mean, you look at this. Can't get much better than that, can you? Is there a better place to have a lovely Flensburger than here? I don't think there is. When I was about to come here, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know much. I just knew that the train goes there and that it's the most northerly city in Germany. But it's so nice, man. It's like, it's so peaceful. But yet there's stuff going on. And that's like a rare kind of line to walk, I think, and do it well. You just sit here for hours and let time pass you by, couldn't you? Please like and subscribe. So I've just turned around to like walk to the bus station to get to the football. There's a fucking abandoned railway line here. I'm assuming it's abandoned. I fucking hope it's abandoned. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Let's see where this goes. So I've just walked past someone on this. So it is just a normal like path. It doesn't look very functional given there's like bits hanging off down there. This is pretty fucking cool though, isn't it? This is kind of weird. I don't know where it goes down there. There's like a bridge there. I should probably get off before the bridge, shouldn't I? Because I might actually be stuck on here, so let's get off. So we are now on our way to the football after trespassing on the railway lines, and I'll tell you a little bit about the game before we get on the bus. So Viker Flensburg are playing Phoenix Lübeck. Lübeck is the second biggest city in Schleswig-Holstein, and Phoenix Lübeck are the second biggest team in Lübeck. Phoenix Lübeck are 6th, and Viker Flensburg are 10th. Doesn't really matter where you are in this league because everyone is miles behind. TSV Havels at the top. And somehow, this is my 4th time watching Phoenix Lübeck. I don't quite know how. What's interesting about Viker Flensburg is that the prefix Viker comes from the region they're from, Flensburg. But in German, Viker means like a railway switch. And if you'll recall at the start of the video, I said that they were started by railway workers. So it's kind of like a happy accident that they're still owed into their past relationship with the railways. But anyway, let's get on the bus. So we have arrived at the ground, and the first impressions are it's a cool little ground actually. I bought a standing ticket and I don't quite know where the standing area is. There's a standing area to the side of the goal that's closed. The only areas that are open are seating areas, but it's all standing tickets. I found that a bit weird. And one of the seating areas is being gate kept by some security guard. Is that seating area better than here? I don't know. But I'm standing anyway because I'm a football Puritan. And yeah, so far it's a decent little ground. The beer was reasonably priced. There's a relatively decent amount of support here, maybe like, I don't know, maybe 500 maybe. And what was weird is that at the bus stop, I saw a group of my students who I teach in Hamburg. So if you're watching, hello. Anyway, scores 0-0, game's just kicked off. Some twat has done something unforgivable. Oh my God, someone has given a lot of children vuvuzelas. What imbecile gives children fucking air horns and vuvuzelas? This is not going to be an interest. This is not going to be a fun game if these keep. But yeah, aside from the vuvuzela wielding children, it's a decent little gaff. This you got a little kind of like active support group in the corner, making a bit of noise with like a little drum and that. And yeah, it seems pretty chill. Seems all right, apart from the fucking vuvuzelas. It is so fucking cold, man. It doesn't help either that not a lot is going on in the game, really. Apart from a couple of balls rolling past the post, not really much of note. But what is of note is the fucking temperature. It is so cold. I can't get warm. It's physically impossible. The things I do for you people, please like and subscribe because I'm fucking freezing. It's half time and I'm starting to think I might be a little bit cursed because the last game of football I ground hopped in the ultimate ground hop watch it was shocking. There was a goal, but it was shocking. And this has been exactly the same. Nothing, the only thing of note that has happened in this game has been a player going off injured, which isn't a good thing. I tell a lie. The two things of note, actually no, I tell even more of like the three things of note is the player going off injured, that was a shame. It being cold, that was also a shame. And those kids, me giving fucking vuvuzelas. Honestly though, with that very uninteresting game, my journalism degree is working overtime. I'm just waffling, nothing's happened. Hopefully, the second half is better. Oh my god, what was that? I seriously cannot portray to you how fucking cold it is, man. It's so cold. I'm English, I'm used to this shit. It's fucking freezing. It was like 15 degrees last week. What's going on? It's nice to see someone's keeping fucking warm. And I've also just found out as well that my fucking train home has been cancelled and replaced with a bus. Oh man. This YouTube life is not always cocaine and hookers. Sometimes things go wrong. Yeah, off camera I'm going to have a lovely 4-hour journey home instead of an hour and a half. But it's all for the game, it's all for the content, it's all for the people. What I will give credit to is the fact that even though there is like fucking 6 fans that are chanting, they've been pretty litigious. They've been going the whole game, to be fair to them. I'll give them that. You can't really fault the support in terms of persistence, at least. Fair play to them. Now, what you see behind me is the stadium lights there. It isn't full time, but I've had to leave because, as I said earlier, my train's been cancelled back to Hamburg. It's going to take me quite a while to get home. But yeah, I've had to leave to catch this bus to get another bus, basically, thanks to my train being cancelled. So we only missed about 5 minutes at the end, so you know, hopefully nothing happens in those 5 minutes. If they do, I'll be fuming and I'll put it on here if they do. This is not a regular occurrence, but unfortunately sometimes shit just goes wrong. But not a bad day by any stretch of the imagination, you know. We've seen Flensburg is an incredibly beautiful place, lots of interesting shit going on, lots of cool buildings, nice scenery. The club seems pretty chill, everyone seems pretty friendly. The ground's quite nice for the level. They had a decent little faction of support. Can't knock them for that, they were singing all game, and I'll never knock anyone for that. As I say, this isn't a usual occurrence, but unfortunately it's kind of out of my hands. But thank you all very, very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. It'll enable me to do more shit like this, so please do that, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.